My name is Yael Kamisaw, and I'm co-author of Modern Criminal Procedure, first published in 1965. Modern Criminal Procedure was written in 1965. It's hard to believe today, but at the time it was the first casebook ever published devoted exclusively to the constitutional dimensions of criminal procedure, a field that was exploding and needed a casebook, and we were the guys who came along and had one.
Hi, my name is Oren Kerr. I'm a law professor at George Washington University. I'm a co-author on Modern Criminal Procedure, Cases, Comments, and Questions. The book really has two advantages over other books. First, it takes a scenario-based approach to the problems of criminal procedure. So for example, in the Fourth Amendment materials, it goes through arrests, it goes through searches and seizures in a house, it goes through searches and seizures in an automobile, it goes through searches and seizures of packages. It's scenario-based rather than doctrine-based. And that's much more useful for students because it helps them learn the material. They can think, oh, here's a house case or here's an automobile case. And that focus allows them to learn the law better and more effectively over time. Second, the casebook is comprehensive. It has a tremendous number of cases and comments, and it goes through lots of areas. There's lots for professors to pick and choose which areas they want to focus on. So it offers a really comprehensive view of the doctrine, which I think is important because in criminal procedure, it's just so case-based. There's so many Supreme Court decisions to focus on, and the casebook really provides a tremendous amount of the cases that are needed that professors can use to pick which ones they want to assign to students. The 14th edition is new in two ways. First, there's a teacher's manual. So it's going to be very useful if you're coming to criminal procedure the first time. You're going to not only have a resource to help you learn the materials, but also get some good ideas as to how to present the materials to students. Second, the field of criminal procedure is constantly changing, so there's new materials and then also several chapters which have been rewritten to account for some of these changes. So for example, I recently finished rewriting the material on network surveillance. There's been a tremendous amount of change from the Supreme Court and from the lower courts in terms of how the Fourth Amendment applies to new technologies. And so there's all new materials dealing with the latest technological developments, the latest questions of how the Fourth Amendment applies to these technologies, and it's right up to date for use with students today. The teacher's manual is going to have a wealth of materials for teachers looking for materials both to help them learn the law and also for students. So different parts of the book will have, for example, questions that could be asked for students, sample problems for students, also syllabi for professors, different ways of assigning material. It should all be in the teacher's manual to help professors assign material and also learn the material themselves.
Before I went into teaching, I worked at one of the great law firms in the country, Covington and Burling, a famous Washington, D.C. law firm. And despite the fact that I had more time to work on subjects and topics than the average law firm, I still didn't feel that I had enough time. And that's what I think makes teaching great. You can't do it in the greatest law firm in America. There just isn't enough time. And yet you always have to keep worrying about, can we bill the client this much or that much? But when I'm teaching law and I want to spend an enormous amount of time, I don't have to explain it to anybody.
I think law is such an exciting field because it combines, on one hand, profound questions of state power. How do we as a society organize ourselves? Along with intellectually interesting questions. What is the nature of law? Rules versus standards. Questions of how courts should work or how legislatures work, how the executive branch works. It's theory and it's practice, and it's all brought together in an area with tremendous power and influence over society. So it's exciting intellectually, it's exciting in the world, and it's important. So I think it's just a great area.